Welcome to another video, guys. In today's video we're going to show you how to replace the rear door speakers on a Ford Fiesta with some aftermarket 6.5-inch speakers. Go ahead and stay tuned.
Music bed.
Alright, so I'm going to change out the door speakers here on the rear doors on the Fiesta. This one doesn't have speakers on the back tray here behind the seat, so it just has the door speakers here on the bottom. So when I looked it up on website Crutchfield, which is, they sell really good, well, they sell every brand of audio systems, but it shows that 6.5 is the size that fits in there. Now we might have to use like the old surround, kind of like I did on the front. If you guys want to see the front video, there's one there in the channel, you can check it out. But we're gonna get started with that. So this is the speakers I'm going with, same ones I went with on the front. They were same thing, about I think $25 on Amazon. I think they went up a little bit from the last one, but they work pretty good. They don't make, you know, that like weird noise that the old blown speakers make, so that's the main thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started and go ahead and follow along. This is gonna be your basic door. Main thing that you're gonna need is going to be a T25 Torx for the bolts down here. There's a couple bolts right here, and then this is also for the speaker. Use like a flathead screwdriver, you know, just to kind of pry the door panel off. Just be careful not to scratch the paint. You're gonna need a Phillips, and I have this like pick, just to take like this little plastic cover. You can use a small screwdriver or maybe a knife. Just be very careful not to, you know, damage it. But my car is missing the little plastic cover right in this corner here, but it just has a little push pin, so you just gotta pry it out. So that's how you do that one. The window switch has 4 tabs, and I don't know if you guys will be able to see that easy. Let me see if I can show you. So if you kind of push here on the back side, probably be easier with the screwdriver here. Just kind of push in and kind of up as you're pushing it. Same on the front side. You can kind of hear it click, but it's got this little, you can focus here. It's got this little plastic tabs that you just gotta push in to, you know, get them to unhook from there. So gotta be careful not to damage the actual switch. And then there's a little pin here, you just push it to unplug it. So we're just gonna put this out of the way. And then I'm gonna get my little pick here. It's gonna be kind of tight in there, but And I'm using 2 just because it's really tight in there, but maybe with the knife be easy, but just make sure you do it from the back side of the car because this little piece here has this that kind of hooks on the front. So if you try to take it out from this side, you might break that part. So. All right, and then with that off, there's going to be the Phillips screw right here. And then right under here where your door handle is, there's going to be those torque bits that you're going to have to remove. And that's the screw there. Mine is missing one, so obviously someone's been in here. That's probably why this is missing. Once you have those off, then you want to get like your screwdriver and kind of put it on the bottom here. I mean, this one's already separated, but just gonna start pulling all around. And then you can take that door panel off like that. So now what happens sometimes, and also you can unhook the door handle here, but I don't have really a need for that. I'm just gonna kind of pull this apart so that way I get a little bit more slack out of this. And then I'm just gonna put this door panel down here. Now what happens sometimes, this little plastic tabs that hold the door panel, they come off of the door panel instead of the actual door. So just go ahead and get a screwdriver or one of these special tools if you have one. And pull them out. That's probably why that door panel was loose on the bottom when I was trying to take it off. Because whoever did this before, you know, that stayed in the door and they didn't put it back in here. So I'm just gonna slide these two back in the door here. And you can just lay your door panel kind of hand here for a second. Yeah, someone's definitely been in here before because this rubber piece here on top is not even, I mean, it's like pushed out. It's supposed to be like sealing this part of the door here. And so, I mean, I don't know what difference it makes because there's holes all over, but maybe it's just supposed to let that cable guide better. I don't know. No, I'm just gonna put it back where it's supposed to be. Okay, so with that said, you have your plug here for your speaker. You just push this little tab. And pull it out. There's only the 2 wires going to this one. And then you got your Torx bit again. And you got your 3 screws that hold it to the door. And once you get those 3 screws off, then you get your speaker out of there. Alright, so now that we got this, now as you can see, you know, this round piece is way bigger. It's a new speaker, so if I try to go bolt it to the door, I mean, the speaker's just gonna go through that hole because where the actual bolts are, the hole is way bigger. Now, you know, obviously you guys can do whatever you want on your own car. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this plastic piece to hold the new speaker, kind of like it holds this one. You know, obviously you can go to Ford and buy factory speakers. I have no idea how much these are, but I'm sure they're not gonna be, you know, under $30 a pair. So, you know, this is just how I'm doing it. You guys can follow along or do it set differently, whatever. But This is what I did on the front, so I'm gonna cut out the speaker and just these plastic pieces to hold it, and then I'm gonna use this ring. If you go like on Crutchfield, they might have this rings, or maybe even Amazon, I don't know, for an extra like $10 or something, so you can always do that as well. So just keep in mind you have different options. So I just got the speakers around off. Now I'm gonna cut those little wires off. I did it different on the front, but this is how I'm gonna do here on the back. So I'm gonna cut those wires, and then just this plastic tabs, I'm gonna leave the connector here intact. So, and I'll show you why later. Wire snippers work well for this as well. And so, you get your speaker out. And I'm just gonna take this rubber piece off because it's not really on the way, but it's not rubber, it's like foam. All right, and the reason I left this intact here is I'm gonna actually connect the new speaker to these. That way I can use that factory connector. I don't have to cut the wires or anything like that. But you guys could, obviously just run the wire to the door wires, however way you prefer. Now, remember this part was towards the top of the door like this. And so I just want my speaker to be oriented kind of this way here. So if you see this little tabs kind of stick out here of the, there's this little lip. And so I'm just gonna mark, I'm gonna cut that lip down, because like here it's cut down in a couple places. So I'm just gonna cut here. Just that way it sits flat. I guess you can always cut those little tabs off the speaker as well if you like. Either way. I'm just gonna cut the plastic here. Okay, so as you can see now it sits flat. Gonna grab my marker again and just mark where the holes are. You might want to drill the holes to put the new screws in there. I don't have my drill here because I'm working at a house elsewhere, so all my power tools are over there. So I'm using another screw here as a pilot. Now it's pretty soft plastic, so you can make the hole with the new screws, but just in case like your screwdriver slips, I would do the holes first with the speaker out of the way and then put the speaker back. You don't want to put a hole in your new speaker, so just put it where your mark is, and then just kind of, you don't have to push too hard, but just push a little bit down as you're turning. I mean, it's pretty soft plastic, so it's just gonna go through right away. last one here. Alright, so now that all my pilot holes are in there, I can put the speaker in there. And then just tighten up all the screws in there. And actually, I lied. Before I tighten these up, I'm going to go ahead and connect my wire to here. Just that way I don't have the speaker kind of in the way, so. And you don't need that much because your, speaker is going to be right in here, so. And so I'm just peeling off the wire here. And then I'm gonna wrap it around this little terminal. And obviously just one on each side. Now you could probably just, make sure these are wrapped around there really good and they'll be fine. But I'm gonna get my solder gun and just put a little dab of solder in there. Make sure that it's pretty much welded to that little terminal there. If you don't have a solder gun, you can find one of these at Harbor Freight for like 15 to 20 bucks. They even have the smaller ones that are just like a pen that are like $10, so they're not too expensive. Get one. I'm not like that good at soldering, but get one and practice. And that way you can use it for anything like this. you can see, I mean, it's just, you know, it's soldered in there, so the actual wire is welded to the terminal. It's not gonna fall off. All right, then now I can put the speaker in there. Now don't over tighten these because, you know, that plastic is pretty soft, so it's gonna strip out, but they just have to be snug. I mean, they're just holding the little speaker in there. And that's it. Now we just gotta go back here, get your little cables and connect them. And be careful when you're pushing down to connect these. You might wanna kind of hold it on the back side because they're tight. You don't wanna break that little, you know, the connector off the speaker, but that's it. So now we can go and install it. All right, now we're back here in the door. Just make sure your cable is out of the way. You don't pinch it. And line up your little tabs. And we got your torque screws here. Tighten them up and then just connect your speaker. At this point, I would turn the radio on, make sure it works. I already tested it off camera. I don't want no, you know, copyright with the music, but make sure that it works, you know, to make sure that the cable didn't come disconnected or anything before you move on. So, but once you tested it, everything is good. We can start putting this back together. So, gonna get this cable in that clip there. And then make sure your window switch cable is through that little hole there. That way you don't have to fish it out later. So. Okay, and then you're just gonna push all those tabs in. You can go ahead and put your Phillips screwdriver or Phillips screw back on here with your Phillips screwdriver. We'll put that little cover on. We'll grab our switch. Plug it in, make sure it's facing the right way. And just be mindful of the little tabs here. There you go. And then we can put that torque screws back on here. So once you do that, you're already good to go. I'm gonna go and see if I can find another screw like this so I can put both of them back in there, but obviously, you know, just the one was okay for the meantime. If do I go to like a salvage yard, then I can see if I can get one. But anyways, that's it. That's how you install your speakers on the rear doors or your Ford Fiesta. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Little extra clip here at the end. What are the odds? When I got the car like 8 months ago, I took the seats out and cleaned it out really good, and I found, now that I think back, I'm pretty sure I found this screw on the carpet under the seat. And I just keep all the bolts that I have or extra or anything in bins. And I went and I found it right away on top of my screw bin. So what are the odds? There it is.